All right. Okay. So, been running errands all day. Caught me in my errand. Shit. Wow, whatever. Full moon in Scorpio. I am going to pick by. I have all the horoscope signs in here, and this is how I'm going to pick in order how it goes. I am now recording this reading on April 29th, 2026 at 4:09 PST time. All right, so who's going to be the lucky man? Who's going to be the first one for this full moon Scorpio reading, huh? Well, first off, full moon Scorpio, a lot of you haven't, if you've been watching other astrologers and tarot readers, whatever, however they want to call themselves, they say it's a deep transformation. I don't think necessarily for me because I have a lot of fixed placements. My horoscope in my natal chart. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be much of a emotional thing for me. I don't know if in case just something comes up, because Scorpio also rules the Tower card and Tarot. So unexpected things can happen, especially when it has to do with emotions. So let's see here. Who's going to be the lucky one? Who's going to be fast? Let's see here. Who is it? Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you are first. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. So Sagittarius, the last full moon in Scorpio, I mean not Scorpio, last full moon in Libra, you had in your 11th house, and then a new moon in your 5th house with the Aries new moon. So you probably had some connections that you were solidifying, maybe severing, as far as possibly the same sex, possibly the opposite. It has a lot to do with connections and communications. Go back on the full moon reading as I did that. So, 5th house, you should be having some fun right now, Sagittarius. Or whenever it was in that little Libra, Aries, new moon type feels. Let's move on. So now, here, full moon is Scorpio, Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius moon, sun, anybody with heavy Sagittarius placements. So your 12th house now here with the full moon. So definitely ending some things here now that you've gone out of your 11th house and you're creeping up into your 12th house, moving on, right? This could be a lot to do with your 6th house, new work, right? You don't necessarily have to be a new job entirely. You could be getting promoted. Yeah, promotions. Yeah, especially for Sagittarius rising. I would think Sagittarius sun would have more of a option and say so if they want to stay or leave. But Sagittarius rising, they stay and get promoted. So with Sagittarius sun too, but it's more of your choice, Sagittarius sun. Sagittarius moon. Awesome. Got freedom here. 12th and 6th house. There's freedom here. Severance. When it comes to your work, your teens, your pets, your health, there's changes here. A lot of things are cutting out here. Sag. Um, let's move on to your tarot reading. All right. Let's go on. Let me put you up here so I can write what you get. Sagittarius. Ever want to come up in the cut, Sag? 3 of Cups. So you got a good time here. You're having a good time outside of your connections, but however, with your possibly maybe a love connection, you may be tussling it with somebody may be more into their, emotions, their feels, and have their guard up here. Moving on to calmer, stable waters, right? So Queen of Cups comes up twice here in your cut. You have the Nine of Wands, that was in the cut. Ten of Wands, and then Devil. Ooh, okay, so getting over some things here. You're guarded, right? And you're pushing along with some toxicity. This could be a lot to do with the job, right? The Devil, not to do with the job. Let's see. All right, Sagittarius, rising in any Sagittarius heavy placements such as Sun, Moon. What messages do we have for Sagittarius for this full moon in Scorpio? I'll put in new moon, yeah. New moon, Taurus. I believe there's like 2 full moons here in the month of May. 31 days in the month of May. May 1st is when the full moon initially starts in Scorpio around noon to 1-ish PST time. 7 of Pentacles here. You're thinking about something long term, whether it is your connections or whether it has to do with your job. More likely both. In the background here, you're bored, though. You're bored. You know what's expected. There's an investment, though, that you're also contemplating on and thinking about. You're trying to have some diligence about it. Trying to have some diligence with it. This could be something with negotiations as well. I mean, not quite disappointed with the negotiations, but it is what it is. It's an investment. You can put it towards investments, right? This could have a lot to do with your savings. You're thinking of maybe if this does have to do with your job or your work, you're thinking of maybe the money that you would lose out maybe if you don't go forth with the job. And then you're thinking about the money you would gain if you do go with the job. Like I say, you just put in a savings kiddie pool, right? Like petty cash or something. But nevertheless, you're contemplating on what the long-term goal is here, right? After I do this, what am I going to do after this? Will this be enough? Isn't everything? Isn't anything enough, right? You want to take action on something, on some type of investment. Thinking about it, you have that one seed of, putting in forth towards it. Okay. Well, we have the Hierophant. Oh no, we have the Justice card that comes out here. Okay, this could be something to do with, actual legal law, but however, it could also do with something of getting back what's due to you. Judging. There's a lot of judging here about something to do with some type of investment. You have the Four of Swords in the background here. You thinking about it. At night, you may be thinking about it as well. It goes to you at night when you sleep. This investment. Cause and effect, though. Like, what will happen if you were to go forth with whatever the Seven of Pentacles is? I'm going to clarify it. What will be the effects of it, right? Will you get your due just? Will it be all fair? Laissez-faire? Would people actually do right by you if you were to go with this? Because time can only tell, right? You always have that saying, time it gets better. Here we have the Five of Swords, though. So you have justice here in between the Five of Swords and Seven of Pentacles. So the sword is on the Seven of Pentacles side, and then we have the scales on the Five of Swords side here. In the background is the star. You're like, if you do go forth with this investment, you want to win it, at all costs in all areas when you go forth with it, right? You don't want no areas of weakness. You want pretty much everybody to be on the right page. Uh, Five of Swords does speak of bullies and theft. So you may be trying to protect your investments here from something, somebody, or someplace, right? Some type of entity. You still are thinking about this Seven of Pentacles, though. You got your sword up to it. You want some clarity behind it. You don't have necessarily all the answers that you need or want from this Seven of Pentacles. And over here with this Five of Swords, you got the scales on it. What's the cause and effect of me, going all right out and, winning at all costs with this? Will I be judged? Will things be fair, right? Will I, not necessarily will you heal from it, but, will it be healing, right? What are the healing effects? So these two cards these three cards want to come out. Should we take them, Sagittarius? We got a connection here. So it's business and pleasure, it looks like. Business and pleasure. You got a Lover's card here, and then you have this Queen of Pentacles in the center. Working parent. Somebody who works for the money, who can work, who can just pretty much provide financially here. Focus on their, on the coin. Have judgment, though. There could be some people judging you about how you get your money, how you get your ends. Yeah. The world in the background. So there's a win at all costs on some type of connection here. Pretty major. You got 3 major arcana so far out of 6 cards. I'm doing a 9-card spread. I'm gonna keep these cards here. There's an awakening, though. There's some type of awakening here. Awakening on some investments. You gotta win at all costs. If you're a man here, you're thinking about, getting with, somebody who you can invest with. If you're a woman here, you're looking at your investments and trying to weigh in what's, best options. The world is in the background. So this is something that could be announced to the world. It's something that you're possibly looking at the World Wide Web. People are watching you. People want answers too, right? People look like they want some answers from you, Sagittarius. You are focused on your money, or you're focused on people who are focused on their money too, like as you are. Focus on building good things, good investments that are lucrative. Wake up call. Hear about your job, possibly. There's coin going around. Okay. So here we have the Page of Cups. It comes on out. Creative. Something creative. A happy surprise could come up here. In the background, 4 Wands could be doing something at your home. Something at home. I get some type of message here. Somebody may go a message at you. Sagittarius. There could possibly be an apology here. Maybe, Page of Cups also could be apology card. Uh-oh, I glitched. Let's see here. You're curious about something as well, right? A new love that could be. Mm. Well, next full moon is going to be in your first house here, Sagittarius. Mm-hmm. Full moon going to be in your first house. So this may be the acts of new ventures, new love, new money, new financial opportunities. We have the Magician here that comes out next after the Page of Cups. Yeah, you have a eureka moment of knowing how to get something done here. You have the confidence and the clarity that you need about your finances, how much, this is going to cost and all that type of thing about costs and prices. Queen of Swords is in the background here, wanting this to go. She's looking over to get done. Yeah. She's not biased about it. It's all foregoing here. Whatever you have to cut out, you're going to cut out. And whatever you have to infiltrate, you'll pretty much go through with it here. Because this is all set and go. It could be something to do with a child here too, as well. However, since your fifth and 11th house impacted in last full moon. However, we have Ace of Cups here at the end. It's very much to do with, some type of relationship as well. It could be just, financial connection. You're leaving something here in the background. Five of Pentacles here is in the background. You're leaving a job, or you're leaving, something that paid you this amount, but now you're getting paid another amount. So Ace of Cups though is here. You got love somewhere around. There's some love around here somewhere. Even though this is going to be in your 12th and 6th house, there's new love around because, like I say, around May, when the full moon is in Sagittarius, it's going to affect your first house, and then your new moon, which is Gemini, is going to affect your 7th house. So you may be severing, or to get with the new, or you just may be getting with the new, or you already severed ties here. That's all I got here, Sagittarius. So yeah, glad I got this. And I have a shirt on. Yeah, lucky Jupiter. All right, so going on to the next sign.